Wow, what a game that wasn't yesterday, huh? The game was boring, but I have to say the food at my house was I ate so much yesterday. I had I had a turkey, I had part of a cow, I had chicken in both wing and fried form, I had lamb and a pig. I ate all the animals on Old MacDonald's farm. Old MacDonald has no animals left on his farm. I'm disgusted with myself. The game was over very, very early on. There was no three-peat for the Chiefs. You almost had to feel sorry for the Chiefs, as weird as that sounds. Not only did they get blown out, they got blown out on Tubi, of all places. It's never a good sign when the most dramatic part of a Super Bowl game is Harrison Ford talking about his Jeep. The best part of the game, for me, the best part was listening to Tom Brady pretend he was not ecstatic about Patrick Mahomes not winning Super Bowl #4. The happiest goat is a lonely goat. And I ate a goat, too, now that I think of it. Yeah. Funny, before the game, there were all these conspiracy theories about the NFL rigging it to make sure the Chiefs won, all these crackpots that were very, very passionate with their nonsensical thoughts.
Yeah, the NFL was rigged. We already know who's going to win. The Chiefs is taking it home. There's no reason to watch the Super Bowl.
The NFL just announced they're going to have the Chiefs win the Super Bowl so they can sell three-peat memorabilia. The fix is in, guys.
I just Googled who won Super Bowl 59. Yeah, a future date that hasn't happened yet.
I'm telling you, in 20 years, this rigging games for the Chiefs, this ESPN 30 for 30 is going to hit like crack. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, and then we'll never hear anything about this from any of you ever again. Kendrick Lamar was the star of the halftime show, which was controversial for a number of reasons. One of them was being Kendrick's long-running and now very one-sided feud with Drake. This is the kind of thing that can be hard for people who don't follow hip-hop very closely. And so it was nice to see a guy who knew what was going on taking time to explain it to another guy who didn't.
So this song right here, this what he made, like, he was a little upset about everything that was going on, so he had to make them for the people, man, you know what I'm saying, for the culture. So he gonna be like, they not like us, they not like us. So he's saying like, they ain't like us, you feel? Like, people on the other side, be doing what they be doing, but look, sometimes you gotta pop out and show them, you feel?
I'll be honest, I could have used that guy myself. I watched the whole thing, I was like, so did he say anything about Drake? What happened? I wonder what was going on at Drake's house last night. When the halftime show started, was he like, oh no, we're out of queso, I'm gonna run to the Whole Foods, and there were a lot of big stars at the game. The biggest surprise to me, I have to say, the big shock of the night was learning that Pete Davidson is now dating Kevin Costner. Congrats, Dan. Needless to say, the fans in Philadelphia were fired up. This is their second Super Bowl, only the second one ever, and they avenged their loss to the Chiefs the year before last. After they won the NFC Championship 2 weeks ago, a fan fell off a light pole. The guy climbed, and he fell off, and he died. And they get really crazy there. So the mayor of Philadelphia, in advance of the game, issued a warning begging fans not to do this again.
Please, Philadelphia, I implore you as your mayor, do not climb light poles or anything else.
Makes sense to me, right? But did it make sense to the Eagles fans? Well, they had a lot of fun, I guess, is the message. The other bit of Super Bowl lunacy came from Kanye West, who's making a serious run at the title of worst person in the world. He went literally nuts on Twitter this weekend. He posted, I'm a Nazi, I love Hitler. Now what, bitches? I'm never apologizing for my Jewish comments. I can say whatever the F I want to say forever, to the point where even Elon Musk unfollowed him. You know, you have to work pretty hard to make walking the Grammys red carpet with your naked wife the 12th craziest thing you did this week, but somehow Kanye managed to do it. Everything he writes makes you think his account has been hacked. He posted asking Trump to pardon his brother Diddy. I like to imagine someone in Diddy's camp showing up to visit him in prison on Sunday and going, oh, hey, Kanye's tweeting that you should be free. And Diddy's like, oh, really? That's nice. What else did he say? Well, he said he's a Nazi, but... And then I guess Twitter wasn't enough because Kanye bought commercial time during the game. Did you see this? In several local markets, including here in LA, we're watching the game, we're watching these commercials after the third quarter. This is what pops up.
So what's up, guys? I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth.
It's interesting because his teeth are the one thing in his head I wouldn't replace immediately if I was him. How does he still have money? The commercial directed viewers to his website where he is selling, and this is not a joke, a swastika t-shirt for $20. The style code for the shirt is HH01. I wonder what HH stands for. Something tells me it's not Happy Holidays. At what point does he just change his name to Yadoff and be done for it? I mean, he's become Etsy for Nazis. The Chiefs were slight favorites going into the game yesterday, but the Eagles proved nearly all the prognosticators wrong, very wrong, including this one, who took the Chiefs because their quarterback's wife likes him.
I guess you have to say that when a quarterback wins as much as he's won, I have to go with Kansas City.
Time to storm NFL headquarters, I guess. The Democrats rigged it again. Trump was at the game. He got a big thrill because some of the crowd booed Taylor Swift when they put her up on the Jumbotron, which, of course, made Harry Conman Sr. very happy. He posted 3 times about this. After the game, he wrote, the only one that had a tougher night than the Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving. Well, she didn't get booed out of the stadium. Unlike you, she stayed for the whole game. And it was the Eagles fans who were booing her. But you're right. It's all about you. It's always all... Trump's just jealous of Taylor Swift because she has more followers and more money and no kids than he does. But Trump, he loved being at that game, walking around. He stood there like this for the national anthem, the draft dodger. There is no better metaphor for a Trump presidency than a military flyover over a domed Super Bowl stadium. The game was such a dud that in the third quarter, Trump started posting. He posted this attack on the penny. For far too long, the U.S. has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful, I've instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies. And by the way, he posted this while flying back from the Super Bowl on his taxpayer-funded jumbo jet. Trump, he's declared war on pennies because he's tired of Lincoln being the only president bronzer than he is. And I don't know, I'm confused by this. I don't know how this makes the first 3. Without pennies, how's Trump going to tip his housekeeper? Without pennies, what's he going to throw at Eric whenever he walks in the door? It's amazing that he can even do this. How much power does the president of the United States have? Like, if he wanted to, could he put his face on all the money? I guess we're going to find out. He also, over the weekend, made himself the chairman of the Kennedy Center and cut off Joe Biden's access to daily intelligence briefings. So I guess now we will have 2 presidents who don't read the daily intelligence briefings. And he's cutting off Joe Biden's monthly shipment of Boniva, too, which is not fair. Trump wrote that Biden suffers from poor memory and even in his prime couldn't be trusted with sensitive information, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle on national security. He kept classified documents in the toilet at his golf course. But this is going to be tough news for Joe Biden. They haven't even told him he lost the election yet. This is good, too. This is the cover of Time magazine this week. It features Elon Musk in the Oval Office behind Trump's desk with a background that I can only assume is blood. But this is the kind of thing that will really set Trump off. So they asked him for his reaction, and it was just as petty as you might imagine it might be.
Do you have a reaction to the new Time magazine cover that has Elon Musk sitting behind your resolute desk?
Is Time Magazine still in business? I didn't even know that.
You know, for the most informed man in America, he sure doesn't know a lot of things. He's only aware of magazines he's been spanked with by a hooker. Even though in December, he seemed pretty excited to be Time's Person of the Year.
But I do want to thank Time Magazine. I've been on the cover many times.
That was almost 2 months ago, though. Elon, then, knowing this could enrage Trump, did a little damage control. He wrote, "I love real Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man," which is a way of saying, Daddy, please don't be mad at me. Please don't deport me back to Pretoria. So on Friday, Trump hosted the new Prime Minister of Japan. You saw him there in their joint press conference, at which the Prime Minister gave a surprisingly honest reaction to meeting him.
For many, many years, I have watched him on television. So it was quite exciting. I was so excited to see such a celebrity on television, to see in person. On television, he is frightening, and he has a very strong personality.
Same thing he said about Godzilla when he met him. You know, the Super Bowl wasn't the only major athletic event in the world this week. They had a big one in Germany, too.
I've never heard of a deer calling competition. Leave it to our German friends to give it a go.
I don't think I've ever heard of...
Oh, no. Oh, Ken. Well, now, that'll...
Oh, my goodness.
Good God, my God, this is obscene.
Germany really is the Florida of Europe. That one turned out to be more interesting than the Super Bowl, but the commercials were pretty good. There are a lot of big commercials, big names selling chips and beer and mayonnaise. Every ad agency did their best to outdo the other, and we thought it might be fun to find out how closely people were paying attention to those ads. So we went out on Hollywood Boulevard this afternoon and asked those passing by for their opinions on Super Bowl commercials we made up in a new edition of Lie Witness News.
We're talking about some of the Super Bowl ads yesterday. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan reenacted When Harry Met Sally. Christopher Walken reenacted his scene from The Deer Hunter, where he shot himself in the head for Cinnabon. Was that fun?
Yeah, it brought back memories for sure.
Is that a fun ad, or does it make light of the horrors that happened in that jungle hellhole?
Yeah, I guess it can go both ways, you know.
You Cinnabon fan?
Yeah. Make you think about things for sure.
Yeah, it makes you think, what does Cinnabon have to do with Vietnam, really?
That's right. Tragedy, you know.
Anything you want to say to Cinnabon? Look right in there and tell him.
It's tragedy.
Of course, the saddest ad of the Super Bowl was the Budweiser one when the Clydesdale broke its leg and they had to take it behind the barn and put it down.
Yeah, that one was sad.
What were people saying about them having to shoot that Clydesdale in the head?
Well, they couldn't fix the leg. It was too shattered. And they cried because it was sad.
Sad. Did it make you want to go out and buy some Budweiser?
Yeah, definitely.
We're talking about some of the Super Bowl ads yesterday. Was it fun or in poor taste when they poured Red Bull on Jimmy Carter's grave?
Poor taste.
Poor taste?
Poor taste.
What about when he rose out of the grave and said, "It gave me wings," and he flew up to heaven?
That was fun. That was fun.
What about the AI O.J. Simpson orange juice ad? Did you think having him come back from the dead was tasteless, or did it work for O.J.?
I think it was kind of tasteless because O.J. did murder his wife. At least he was accused of it, so I think it was kind of tasteless to show that in 2025.
What did you think about O.J. drinks the orange juice and says, "O.J., it's not tasteless"? Do you agree?
I think that was tasteless, but no, orange juice is really good for you.
What are your thoughts on the ad where Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady were yelling that they hated each other, and then at the end realized they had more in common and just sucked on each other's fingers for about a minute? You enjoy that?
It was all right. It definitely got their message out there, and I think that's what it needed to do.
What was the message?
I'm not exactly sure.
What did you think about GoDaddy making Puff Daddy their new spokesperson?
I didn't like it at all.
Why?
Just the way the commercial was, and I didn't think it was any good at all. GoDaddy, you shouldn't have Puff Daddy as your spokesperson.
Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right, yeah. That's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20 million and one.